I strongly believe in that you make your own luck and create your own opportunities.
I cannot sit still. So I always want to do different things. Yeah. Now, that's also slightly, you mentioned freelancing, right? Like that's the ultimate push for the gig economy in a way, isn't it? Right? Like let's just say you never got a job on a radio station or a TV station and whatnot, and you kept trying and it didn't work out, and then COVID hits, right? I'm sure there are a lot of mass comm students who want to be superstars and whatever, and there's just nothing available. What do? You became an entrepreneur. You're doing all this podcast production and stuff. Mm-hmm. Is this the right time for them to get into the gig economy?
Yeah, like send me a message and like, I don't know, like give me your idea.
I mean, should they even start their own company though?
I feel like, starting a company is only how much if you go and like apply for, an SSM, I don't know, enterprise or whatever, that you can start a company already. But I think it is possible. I think it's actually quite necessary to try and work when you're studying, like when you're going to college and stuff. Like, I think it's important to get a degree. I know a lot of people are saying like you don't need to go to college, you don't need to go and get a degree.
Don't watch Gary Vee so much.
I don't believe that. I really don't. I think you need a degree and you need to have to grow and one up yourself. But I think it's also possible to work and study.
Now, do you think that's a good idea to try to split your thought process on that?
I think it's fine. I think like you said, I think we have some conversations just then about saying how a lot of times people assume that once you get a paper degree or qualification, that's it, you're set for life. I think this is the kind of story or the narrative that our parents, our grandparents used to tell us, right? Oh, go to university, get a degree, you'll be fine, you'll be set. I think that was true maybe 20, 30 years ago, maybe, I don't know. But nowadays, it's not really, right? Like even for me, when I hire clinicians for our team, right? Your paper qualifications do enough to get you an interview because I say, okay, you're qualified to do the work that you're doing. But after that, I don't care whether you're the top student or the worst student, right? It's really about how you present yourself, the experiences that you've had and all that. And I think if you can manage working and studying at the same time, that gives you a good advantage. But only if you can. I mean, if you can't, don't shoot yourself in the foot and then thank your degree and get in trouble.
Definitely.
Yeah. I think slightly before that, the one I wanted to jump in on was how if you can start your own thing, do your own thing right now. And I think there's a lot of positivity in that. I think because, like you said, you hustle, right? You don't have a job, great. I'm going to hustle, I'm going to do my work, and I'm going to get whatever I need to be done. But at the same time, I think when you become too consumed by that, you got to be very careful about that, right? So like one of the client populations that I see quite a bit is actually entrepreneurs, right? Because they are so enamored by the idea of succeeding, they forget that out of 100 entrepreneurs, 99, 98 fail. One maybe semi-succeeds and one actually succeeds, right? And they forget that message, right? They forget that idea, and they think that if I fail, I'm a loser. I'm hopeless, right? But in actual fact, you're just normal. You're just part of everyone else, right? So I think it's a great idea to hustle in that sense, like to do your own thing, make your own thing, which is great. But you also need to temper it with the fact that you might fail, and there's a very good chance you might fail. And what do you do after that, right? And if not, if your brainchild is, I've got this brilliant idea, I'm going to sell it, and then that's it, I'm going to be a millionaire, and it tanks, and that's your entire reality crushed to bits, right? Then what? Right. So I think we need to find that balance a little bit. Yes, go do your own thing, but always have that safety net in the sense that knowing that if I do fail, there are things I fall back on, which like a degree, for example, work experience or whatever you learn. In that sense, right?
And you were talking about working or studying and working at the same time. But even if you look at it from a point of view of job searching and trying to do an entrepreneurial pursuit at the same time, there's almost a no-lose situation. If you succeed, if the entrepreneurial pursuit succeeds, fantastic. If it doesn't, when an interviewer asks you what have you been doing for the last 6 months, you've got something fantastic to tell them. And I strongly believe in that you make your own luck and create your own opportunities. If you're doing all the entrepreneurial pursuits, you're going to be talking to so many people, you're going to be naturally networking and increasing your circle. There's a good chance your next job might come from someone you met during the time doing these things. So there's almost like a no-lose situation. Maybe it won't succeed as a business, but it could be the way that you get the next job versus sitting at home feeling sorry for yourself watching Netflix.
And you learn so much too in that time.
Of course, yeah.
But isn't it just maybe because I keep thinking, because we talk about entrepreneurship and doing your own thing and freelancing and gigging, is this very much like, what's that hashtag first world problems kind of thing? Like it's a very urban thing. I don't see issues in cities. Is this problem out there? And if it's the problems are in the rural area, is it a B40 thing? If it's B40s or the lower end of M40, do they not have the mindset to get into what they're calling Industry 4.0, or they're calling it the gig economy? How do you get them ready for this new norm, this new world? You know?
It is tough, and I think the internet rules everything now, right? And if you are so rural that you don't have access to the internet, I'm not sure what the answer to that question is.
Yeah.
But actually, I think internet connectivity in Malaysia is extended now to even the most rural areas. And you see so
Well,
many...
except that girl had to climb a tree just to
Oh,
get...
they're building a tower for her now.
Yeah, really?
Yeah,
She had to take her exams and then she had to climb a tree. But anyway, yeah.
But you see so many positive stories now about Lazada and Shopee bringing huge customer bases to these tiny rural businesses.
Yeah.
And I think one positive that a lot of people agree on about COVID-19 is how it's changed people's minds about working remotely. So now the gig economy has suffered because in the short term, because they're easily disposable, as in the company has employees who are contracted to work there. They have freelancers, and it's easy to get rid of the freelancers and cut that cost. It's not easy to get rid of the employees. That's a knee-jerk reaction. And going forward, companies now know most of their, or certain industries know that most of their employees can actually work remotely and not lose performance. So the next step from there is, do they even need to be employees?
Yeah.
Can we do everything with freelancers and kind of run that gig-based economy? And then, does it matter if they're in KL? Does it matter if they're in a rural area? As long as they've got a strong internet connection, that's all you need, right?
That's a whole other discussion that we should have about
Whether or not they have an internet connection is different.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
assuming you do, I think COVID-19 has been very good for the gig economy, even though in the short term, a lot of people have lost a lot of their stable business.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Glad you liked it. Now, if you want to check out a full discussion on all our other episodes, click right here. And of course, don't forget to subscribe.